Okay, let's talk about something that makes pretty much every YouTube creator nervous, the platform's rules on vulgar language. They can feel super confusing, right? Well, today we're going to cut through all that noise and figure out what you actually need to know to keep your channel safe.
You know the feeling. You've just finished the perfect video, you're ready to hit that upload button, and then you pause. Was that joke too much? Is that word gonna get me in trouble? It's a legit fear, and honestly, the only way to get past it is to really understand what the rules are.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to dive right into YouTube's official policy using their own guidelines, so there's no more second guessing. We'll look at what really crosses the line, where those tricky gray areas are, and what happens if you do mess up.
All right, first up, let's draw those bright red lines. These are the absolute no-go zones. This is the kind of stuff that YouTube is actively looking for, the language that's almost guaranteed to get your video demonetized, age-restricted, or worse, land you a channel strike. So, the first big category is sexually explicit language. And what's really important to get here is that it's not just about a few bad words. It's about the entire point of the video. If the main focus is on graphic sexual details or storytelling, you're definitely stepping into a danger zone. So, what does that actually look like? Well, think about things like describing sexual acts in detail, or just a constant barrage of explicit slang, or even audio that's clearly sexual. The T word you gotta remember is focus. If the whole point of the video is the sexual content itself, that's a huge red flag for YouTube systems.
Next up is what they call excessive profanity. Now, this is one that catches a lot of creators off guard. You could be talking about something totally harmless, like a new video game, but if almost every sentence is packed with swear words, the sheer volume of it becomes the problem. Yeah, so even though context matters, so does just how often you're swearing. A rant video where every other word is a curse word, or literally a compilation of them, is going to get flagged no matter what you're talking about. It really comes down to the overall vibe and intensity of the language.
Now this one is huge, and people forget about it all the time: vulgar metadata. This means the rules don't just apply to what you're saying in the video. It's about your title, the text on your thumbnail, and even the tags you use to get discovered. All of it counts. And here's the bottom line. You just can't use profanity or sexual terms as clickbait. Your video could be perfectly fine, totally clean, but a provocative title or thumbnail can still get it flagged, age-restricted, or even taken down. Seriously, this is one of the easiest mistakes to avoid, so just keep your metadata clean.
Okay, so we've covered the really clear don't do this stuff. But now things get a little more nuanced, because YouTube does get that language can have a purpose beyond just being offensive. And this is where context becomes everything.
This chart just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got language used maybe for shock value or laughs. But on the right, you could have the exact same words being used in, say, an educational breakdown or a news report. It's the why, the purpose behind the language, that YouTube is trying to figure out.
And the good news is, YouTube actually lists out these potential exceptions. If your video is educational, journalistic, or artistic, like song lyrics, or serves the public interest, you've got a lot more breathing room. Pro tip, explaining that context in your video's description can really help.
But, and this is a big but, here's the fine print, straight from their policy. Even if you have a good reason, you can't just go crazy. You can't just slap an educational label on a video and then fill it with 10 minutes of nonstop cursing. The language still has to actually serve the purpose of the video.
So, what happens if you do cross that line? Let's talk about the consequences, because understanding YouTube's 3-strike system is absolutely essential if you want to protect your channel. Okay, let's walk through it. The first time you break this rule, you'll probably just get a warning, and you can usually get that warning removed if you do a little policy training course. But after that, the real penalties kick in. A first strike means you can't upload anything for a full week. A second strike bumps that up to 2 weeks. And this is the number that you really have to burn into your brain. 3. If you get 3 strikes within a 90-day period, that's it. Your channel will be permanently terminated. That 90-day window is what you have to be so careful about.
And one last really crucial thing to know. For what YouTube calls severe abuse, they can just skip the whole strike system. They reserve the right to terminate a channel immediately, no warnings given. Now, this is rare, but it's in the rulebook for the most extreme cases.
All right, we have gone through the rules, the context, the consequences, the whole shebang. Let's wrap this all up into a super simple checklist you can use every single time you upload a video.
This is it. This is your mental check-in before you hit publish. Just ask yourself, is the swearing over the top?
Is any of this sexually explicit? Are my title and thumbnail clean? If I am using strong words, do I have a good reason? Is it educational or artistic? And finally, am I keeping that 90-day strike window in mind? It's that simple.
So there you have it. That's the real breakdown of YouTube's language policy. And the final question is for you. When you think about your own content, are you confident that it's on the right side of that line?